Welcome to the Chiron Retrograde through the houses video. This is a quick tutorial on how to obtain your Chiron placements by house and by sign in your birth chart. If you already have this information, just skip ahead. But real quick, you're going to create an account at astro.com, A-S-T-R-O. I've gone ahead and done that. I think you have to create an account. I don't think you could do it for free. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on Extended Chart Selection. And you're going to click Add a New Person. And then you're just going to pop in your data, and I am making this up. This is not a real person, as far as I know. This is Frank, fictitious Frank. He's born on May 15th, 1986 at 8 o'clock a.m. in Brooklyn, New York. All right, Michigan, sorry. All right, and then you're going to come to this screen, and it's going to say Natal Chart Wheel, Web Default Style, and you're going to change the default here to Placidus for simplicity. And then you're going to scroll down, and under Additional Objects, you're going to click Chiron, because he doesn't pop up automatically, although I feel he should, but that's something for a different day. And you're going to click here to show the chart, and it's going to give you fictitious Frank's birth chart. And you're going to scroll down to the wheel here with the planetary glyphs, it tells you, and you'll see Chiron down here. And you'll see 13 degrees of Gemini is this person's Chiron. The glyph is like a K, the letter K. So when you scroll back up, you're going to look for that K in this part of the wheel where the planets are represented. You're going to find it right here. So this person has Chiron in the 12th house. You see the 12? These numbers are the houses. So Chiron in the 12th. And if you wanted to research further, it's in Gemini. And that's it. Okay. Let's talk about Chiron. Who is Chiron? What does he represent in astrology? But more importantly, what does he represent for us personally in our birth chart and where he touches our lives? So Greek mythology, if we go way back, Chiron was half horse, half man, and he was immortal. He was also an astrologer and a prophet and a medicine man. And long story short, and there's many different variations of this story, but they all point to the same thing. Chiron was actually wounded by a poisonous arrow from somebody in his camp. It was accidental, and because he was immortal, he did not die, but he had to live with this wound, and he carried it through. And through his own gifts of vision and prophecy, he was able to help heal others, but he could not heal himself. That was the thing about Chiron. He could not heal himself. So it is like the wound that never quits, but when you go into it and you go deep into the soul and identify where this wound lies and where these wounds could lie, and ultimately they're rooted in past lives. So yes, obviously childhood and adolescence shape us to an extent with our experiences and how we perceive events that have happened to us, whether they were traumatic or just simply traumatic to us or to our soul. There's an imprint left on us. And again, we're going back to past lifetimes as well. To get a little woo, we're going back to past lifetimes as well with Chiron especially. So anyways, he is the wounded healer in our chart because our gifts can become our strengths. And the wounds are where the medicine lie. So, how do you find your Chiron? Right at the beginning of this video, there was a little tutorial. Hopefully you watched it and you found your Chiron. So now you know what house Chiron falls in and what sign Chiron falls in. Now, Chiron is generational. He was discovered technically in 1977, and he orbits between Saturn and Uranus. So in this book that I read a while back about astrology and Kundalini by Barbara Han Clow, she actually refers to Chiron as the rainbow bridge between Saturn and Uranus. And I really love that analogy because, you know, rainbows are colorful, right? And rainbows typically come after a storm. And Saturn is the serious, sobering father figure sign of the zodiac that represents hard work, structure, and discipline. Uranus is out there and is extremely rebellious and zany and eccentric, and it's a wild card. It's like lightning. It just wants to free us and break us out. So when you've got Chiron that travels in between Saturn and Uranus by orbit, he spends typically about 8 years in one sign, okay? So again, it's generational. However, where it hits your chart's going to be different than where it hits mine and so's, regardless of, you know, whether you're a week apart or, you know, 10 years apart. It's going to be different. So when in Saturn's orbit, Chiron takes on a faster speed at times, so he actually can go through one specific zodiac sign in about 2 to 2.5 years. However, it takes Chiron 29 and a half or so years. Oh wait, no, I said that wrong. Saturn's 29 and a half years. Chiron takes about 49 years, to orbit through each sign. And so that's why we all get a Chiron return at the age of approximately 49 to 51. And when we have that Chiron return, it's even more pronounced and more prevalent that these issues, wounds, that have carried with us, if we have not gone inward and looked at them or felt them or honored them, acknowledged them even, they're still going to come up. And when you get to your Chiron return, it's that much more impactful. However, if you don't know, if you're not aware of it, you don't know, like I always say. So hopefully, if you're watching this and you're not at your Chiron return yet, or you're in it, or you've gone through it, this will make sense to you and kind of help you just to elevate your awareness and the work that you're doing for yourself here. So Chiron in the first house of your birth chart. Chiron in the first house. The first house is the physical body. It is who we are. It is how people see us. It's us. So, and it's ruled by Aries. So this is all about the core identity. It's I am. This is who I am. So if you've got Chiron in the first house, there's going to be some sort of wound around how you present yourself, how the world perceives you. Now, remember, this doesn't have to be visible, like a visible wound. It could be a soul wound inside. However, it could also manifest visibly because the first house is visible. It's Aries. So it's like fire. It's a firehouse. So it's out there and it's in your face. So there could be some issues surrounding the way you present yourself, the way other people perceive you. And then, of course, whatever planets and aspects involved with this are going to give another layer. And again, this is not a full-on reading because I'm not looking at anyone's chart. This is just very basic Chiron through the houses. When you get to Chiron in the second house is ruled by Taurus. It's an earth house. It's about planting roots and it's about stability. And so it's also our money house and it's our self-esteem. It's ruled by Venus, so it's what and how we love and what we find pleasure in. And so when Chiron is in the second house of a birth chart, there are definitely some wounds around those areas. When Chiron is in the third house is Gemini. It's communication, it's an air house. It can be somewhat superficial in the way that it doesn't necessarily always want to feel. But when Chiron is there, there's some wounds around communication because the third house is how we communicate. It's also the house of siblings and neighbors and our day-to-day routines. So when Chiron's there, there's some sort of a wound here to work through about that. And again, these do not have to feel extremely deep to be acknowledged and worked through. You may just have a moment where you realize, oh wow, I do have communication trouble with siblings, or I'm always afraid that I'm going to sound a certain way when I speak, and so I hold back. So again, Chiron is the wound that never quits. Chiron in the fourth house is the house of Cancer. It is a water house. It's very emotional. It's at the bottom of our chart, so it's inner. It's very inner, and Chiron's inner. So if you've got Chiron in the fourth, there's definitely some stuff here about the lineage, the family, your ancestry, carrying over these wounds from many, many, many lifetimes, almost to the point that it feels like you can't get out of it. And so this is important. This is a really important one to work through, as they all are, but more so with Chiron in the fourth. Again, it's the Cancer house. So no matter what sign your Chiron falls in, I'm focusing more on the houses right now because that is more impactful. So there could be areas of the security of your life, inner and outer, the family that you grew up with and in, or even the family that you've made for yourself now in this lifetime, your physical environment. This is all the fourth house. So with Chiron there's some things to look at and work through in those areas. When you get to Chiron in the fifth house is the house of Leo. It is the house, again, another fire house. It's all about pleasure and play, and it's also our childhood, it's children, it's our creative juices, our creative energy. It's also sexual energy. So when you've got Chiron in the fifth, there's some sort of wounding there around those areas. And again, it could be how you relate to these areas or something that might have happened to you in relation to these areas that may need to be worked through. Chiron in the sixth house. The sixth house is the Virgo house. It is an earth house. And as Virgo, it's very particular. It's also the house of our physical health. It's the house of what we do on the day-to-day for work, like our service to the world, because this is the house of healing. It's a healing house. Virgos like to heal. They like to be healers. So with Chiron here, this is like an emphasis on how you heal your physical body, how you help others heal, how you bring practicality to these areas. This will be Chiron in the 6th, and some woundings around these areas. When you get to Chiron in the 7th house is the house of Libra. It's the house of partnership, marital partnership, but also business. It's also legal contracts. So Chiron here is going to depict a story of feeling wounded or shamed or slighted by partners in this lifetime and in past lifetimes, and it could be both. So there's some issues to work through in regards to that and your feelings around partnership. Chiron in the 8th, another water house. This is Scorpio. This is deep, like the 4th. Very deep, very psychological. This is where we really want to hide because it's so painful. It could be so painful. And there's definitely some stuff here around, death, sex, taxes, our deepest secrets, our feelings, things we don't share with other people. That's the 8th house, right? It's very taboo. It's investigative, but it's very emotional and very, very deep. So with Chiron here, there's definitely some stuff to be worked through in the realm of the psychological, also in the realm of the physical. There could be some sexual wounding with 8th house Chiron. Could be, I'm not saying definitely, but it could be that you witnessed something, experienced something, or someone else did and it affects you. But anyway, with Chiron in the 8th, there will be some stuff. And also inheritances, real estate, all fall under the 8th house. Chiron in the 9th house. The 9th house is the Sagittarius house ruled by Jupiter. It's very expansive. It wants us to grow. It wants us to learn. It wants us to continue to further ourselves. So with Chiron here, there's this element of a wound of, I don't know enough. I can't do this. I want to travel. I want to learn more. I want to go to school. But you could feel blocked with Chiron here. So again, this is similar to the 3rd house in the sense that something about communication and the way that we perceive knowledge and learn can be affected here. Chiron in the 10th house. Now, the 10th house is one of the more visible parts of our charts. It is up at the very tippy top. It's ruled by Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. This is the medium coli. So this is our professional persona. This is our image that is out in the world. This is how people see us. This is how they perceive our personality in a more professional arena. It's a serious house. It's work, it's business, it's how we climb our way to the top of whatever area we want to go to. And so with Chiron here, I find with this placement, there's always a lot of past life wounding around the public image. Usually it's TV related. It doesn't have to be, but this with Chiron here, there's something again about like the personal and professional lives here, just like the 4th house at the bottom, which is our personal life. The 10th house is at the top. This is our public professional life. So there's this axis here, this polarity about how we work through these issues with Chiron in the 10th. Chiron in the 11th house is all about groups that we associate with. It's friendships. It's our humanitarian values. It's also one of the houses of animals. So there's a lot here about Chiron maybe feeling like, you don't know how to put yourself out into a group, or you can, but you always feel a little bit like you hold back, or maybe you overcompensate. But there's definitely some sort of a wound here when it's in the 11th house about how you present yourself in front of others, in front of the group. Chiron in the 12th house is the last house of the wheel. I always say with the 12th house, it embodies a little bit of every other house because it's the last house in the chart, and it technically is where things go to, I'm going to say, metaphorically die to be reborn when we come back and start the wheel all over again, the wheel of life, right? So Chiron in the 12th, like the 4th and the 8th, it's a water house. It's the Pisces house. So it's extremely psychic. It's extremely difficult to sometimes express even what you're feeling or what you're upset about or what psychologically is grinding at you, because sometimes you just don't know because it's the Neptune Pisces house, so it can be very nebulous. But again, psychological, and there's a lot here having to do with the afterlife, having to do with psychic energy, having to do with feeling like you want to hide. Again, like the 1st house, I'll even say, it could be something physical and you actually hide it because you don't want to put it out there. So with Chiron in the 12th, again, there's this essence, this element of, I don't want you to see me. So Now, that's just a little blip of Chiron through the houses. Now remember, the planets are constantly moving, and as they move, as they transit in the sky, they transit through our charts. And again, it's going to hit you at different points in different ways on your journey here. So you also would probably want to look to your transits to see where transiting Chiron is at the moment, to get an idea of how he's moving through your chart right now. So not only do you have your natal Chiron, your birth chart Chiron, you also have transiting Chiron. So keep this in mind as you're thinking about where these wounds, potential wounds, could be for you to work through. Now, it is a retrograde, so retrogrades are always about stepping back and going inward. And so when Chiron is direct, we can tend to go outside of ourselves for the healing. So this could be where we're really big on, therapists, sound healing, acupuncture, Reiki, psychic readings, astrology, all of that could fall under when Chiron is direct. It happens when Chiron's retrograde as well, bear with me. However, when Chiron goes retrograde, it's almost like a switch kind of goes off and you're like much more reflective and almost more willing. It's more self-help. So this is like the self-help books, learning Reiki on your own so that you can do it for yourself. Other healing modalities, you could become much more interested in this to better express yourself out in the world. So that's also a really positive part of Chiron retrograde. And it's not negative. It's for awareness and for healing. I hope that this has helped you. Take really good care of yourselves. And if you are interested in a private consultation, obviously we could do a lot more with this and talk specifically, not just about your Chiron, but about everything. And remember, Chiron by itself, he also is likely making an aspect or two in your chart, and it could be an easier aspect or it could be a more challenging aspect. And that's going to also stimulate the effects of his energy on you, on your soul, on your chart. Take care, guys. Lisa Salvatore. Bye.